Hi everybody, my name is Brian Estrada. I'm with CHS Automation. We're going to show you how to use your VCP08 control package manufactured by the Bosch Rexroth Corporation for a feed to length application. To begin, you will want to begin to power up the control panel by turning the main disconnect power on. After that, you'll notice the HMI screen start to go through a boot up sequence. And once that sequence has been completed, you'll see the current feed screen, which is also the main page. That can also be accessed by pressing the main button on the HMI. Once that has all been completed, you're going to follow up by turning the power to the drive on, which will require pushing the power on button on the control panel, as well as the drive on button to follow. Once that has been completed, you can start programming your part data into the job screen and begin your feeding application. The VCP08 system is capable of running 3 different modes: manual mode, auto mode, and setup mode. You'll notice once you begin to power up your machine, your power is on, your drive is on, the machine will automatically be in manual mode, which can be read out on the upper left-hand side of the HMI. You'll notice it say M, no jog command, M meaning manual mode. At that point, you can access all your manual functions via the DIO board. Roll lift, jog motor if you have a pull-through straightener, etc., etc. Once you have come to your current feed screen, you can then press F1 for part data. That's going to take you to your part data screen where you then begin to write and store your job. At that point, you can highlight your cursor button on the HMI. You'll see a black cursor come on your part data selection. At that point, you can then use the arrow key to scroll down to your feed length. What we're going to do today is we're just going to put in a fake feed length, 12-inch. So you then can just press 12 on your numerical keypad, followed up by pressing the data entry key. That's going to allow your part to be stored, and you'll notice the cursor moves to your velocity part of your screen. At that point, determining on your feed angle, strokes per minute you're running your job, you can set up a velocity that's going to accommodate the part production you'd like to accomplish. And after the data entry key has been pressed to accept the velocity input value, you'll notice your cursor goes to your acceleration percent on your job data screen. What you'll want to do is, just for now, we'll enter a 75% acceleration rate, press the data entry key. You'll notice it's accepted by the HMI control, and the cursor will then move to your batch count. Depending on if you're running a batch count or not, you'll want to put in 0 through 1,000. Could be whatever you want it at. For now, we're going to leave it at 0 because we're going to want to run in a continuous format. Once that's been done, press the data entry key. You'll notice your black cursor moves down to job 2 of your line data, which we won't have to discuss right now. We're only going to store and write one job. At that point, we're going to hit the main button. We'll take you to your current feed screen, and it takes about a second. You'll notice the update on your screen. It'll show your active part, which is job 1 for us, your length, which is going to be 12-inch today, and the velocity at 75%. And at that point, we're going to be ready to start up the machine. Auto mode. To access the auto mode function of the drive system, it's going to begin with 3 inputs from the HMI. You'll begin by pressing the auto button on the HMI screen itself. You'll notice the green LED lights up. And at that time, you're going to see a cycle stop active in the upper left-hand corner of the HMI. Once you notice that, you can then begin by pressing the stop button on the HMI. Once again, the LED will light up. And you'll notice at the top of your screen, it'll say A, no cycle start. Basically telling you the drive system is waiting for a start command. Once that's been completed, you can press the start button. Once again, you'll notice the upper left-hand corner of the drive will say A, waiting for press. Once that's been completed, you're waiting for the signal to come from your press to initiate feed to the feed to length system. Setup mode can be accessed by pressing the setup button on your HMI. In setup mode, it's going to allow you to set your die progression up, set up your proc switches, things of that nature, any of your pilot hose, while setting up the job for an automatic application. What's going to happen is you're going to press your setup button on your HMI. You'll notice the LED go high at that point. You'll also notice an SE press allowed in the upper left hand corner of the HMI, telling you that it is allowed, it's in setup mode, and at that point it's going to take one punch of your press to allow the setup mode to be activated. Jog mode allows you to use the pendant and actuate the rows in a forward or reversing direction under a preset value for speed. Load percent. Load percent is the use of feed angle. What you'll notice when you're running your press in an automatic mode, a value will come up on the HMI screen here under the load line on the screen. If you can compare 100% to a 360-degree rotation of your press, stating that if you have 75% on your screen, that's going to tell you you have 25% of a 360-degree rotation still available to run a feed length. And if wish, you can increase the strokes per minute on the press to bring that percentage up or decrease. To exceed 99% will result in a feed angle loss. If you do get a feed angle loss in your press, don't panic. All you have to do is press the clear button followed by the start button to activate the automatic mode once again. Micro adjust. Micro adjust allows the user to make subtle adjustments to the product length while running in automatic mode. To access the application, you have to be in the automatic mode itself. Your machine will have to be running. At that point, you can press the F1 for part data, which will take you to your part data screen. And you'll notice at the bottom of the display, you'll have F1 through F4. F3 and F4 of your micro adjust up and down. Micro adjust can be any value you input as a feed length progression. Doesn't affect the input value feed length that you have for your part. If you start to begin to run short, you can access this page, increase it by a percentage, which can be 2 thou or anything the user inputs as a value for that adjustment. Once the adjustment's being made, you're in automatic mode, your press is running, you can press the F3 button to adjust up. It'll add that percentage to your feed length value without changing the input value. To remove that value, all you have to do is go back to the main page and you will notice your length will then go back to the original input value of that part.